Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru Omilade, Ea Risha, and Priestess of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries. Here to share a word of wisdom with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. This video is all about Winter Solstice period 2016 and what can we do to open the way to get deeper in our rituals and to just really prepare ourselves for this deep spiritual time, and as we are preparing ourselves to go into the new calendar year 2017. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you're going into the summer, but this applies to you also. So let me just give you a couple of things. First of all, I do New Year's readings, and I will include a link in the description box below this video that will take you to find out more about that reading. Just know that I do those readings to help people have guidance for their life, to not feel lost. And, you know, when you're setting your New Year's goals and resolutions, it will help you understand the direction that you want to go in. It will help you to understand the theme for your year in particular. And so that's one reading. The queen reading of all readings is the incarnation reading. It's the reading that we should have gotten at birth. But better late than never. And what I loved about getting my incarnation reading that I use to this day is it helps me to first and foremost understand myself. It helps me to self-correct when I see, you know, the challenges that were brought up in that incarnation reading. And it helps me to stay more focused and on the straight and narrow to self-realization and self-mastery. So you can look at the spiritual reading page to learn more about that incarnation reading. As I see it, all readings point to the incarnation reading because it's all about your destiny. The next thing I want to let you know before I get started with the wisdom for this time is that this Sunday, December the 11th at 7 p.m. Central Time, we are holding the Oracle Speaks Teleconference. And I will put the call-in information below. It will be myself along with Priestess Erica and Baba Omi Tosin. We are starting out focusing on what is the Ori, because everyone needs to understand their higher divine nature. We call that the Ori and Ifa. It's called many things. Many people will understand the word higher self. And so we want people to understand the importance of knowing that part of yourself, because that is really you, and how to develop a relationship with your inner divine nature so that you live in the magic and the flow of life, so that you will be on the straight and narrow towards your destiny. And one thing I want to say is you are not alone. You have your Ori, your higher self, that is walking with you moment by moment. So I'll invite you to join us on that call. We'll talk more about the solstice time, and just, you know, you feel free to come with questions if you're wanting to try to understand more things that you can do for yourself. So that is the Oracle Speaks Teleconference. And so I think there was one other thing I wanted to tell you all. This is take 2, but I can't remember what the other thing was that I wanted to tell you. So I now remember what I wanted to tell you. I made a video yesterday, and I'll put the link below, that talks about what do you need to do during the solstice time. Taking time out every year in a special way to completely change and overhaul your life is important. We don't need to just keep doing the same thing day in and day out. We've got to carve out time to spiritually charge and renew. Now, you all know, who watch me regularly, every day is that time. But then we can go deeper during times like, this time leading up to the solstice. I like dealing with this 21 days leading up to the actual solstice or equinox. And so I made a video that is general for any equinox or solstice, and that you can get tips and suggestions on what you can do to structure your own equinox and solstice time of reflection, celebration, however you want to call it. So please take time to look at that video. And also, I am encouraging you to commit to doing something different now. If you're not already doing something for this solstice time, do something different. And I list what you can do during those times. So now I want to talk to you about going into this solstice period, the wisdom surrounding this time, what you need to be thinking about, especially as we are pretty much ending the year and getting closer to starting the new year. Now, I'm all about understanding. For me, I live in 2 different time periods, maybe 3 if we count the lunar cycle. I follow the lunar cycles, but there's the calendar year, and then there's the seasons. And the real new year for me energetically is spring. But this is that time that we all sort of wind down the calendar year as we go into the new calendar year 2017, and that's what this is all about. It doesn't matter where we're starting fresh and anew. This is a time really to reflect on the past, because the fall is about cleaning up, looking at what do we need to clean up, what do we need to get rid of. And right now, that's important. We have a lot of Oya energy surrounding us. Oya is all about change. So much change has happened for so many in so many ways. And so this is a time for us to maximize the energy of the season. When we're in the energy of change and getting rid of stuff, it's better to not resist. We want to surrender to it. And so this is a time for us to be thinking about letting go. It's a time for us to think about what do we need to release from our lives. And most of what we need to release from our lives lies right inside of us. Most of what we need to release has to do with us. We can point our fingers at other people. We can point our fingers at situations. But at the end of the day, we are responsible for our lives. 100%. We have to take 100% responsibility for our lives. And so we need to understand that if we have a whole bunch of stuff that we need to let go of, it's our fault. It really is our fault. So this is a time where we want to become one with the period of release, as we begin to think about what is it that we're opening ourselves up to. We're going into the womb of darkness. And so think about a baby being conceived, which we have a lot of Oshun energy speaking to. So Oshun is the goddess where we think about conception, where we think about imagination, birthing, opening, not necessarily birthing, but conceiving something in manifesting it. And so what we want to do, though, is we think about it like a seed. And so we're wanting to, for sure, let go. Because if we keep holding on to stuff that we don't want, that becomes seed that gets planted within our inner spiritual womb. And so we want to gather the seeds that we desire for our lives. And this is the time to do it, like today. Okay? This is the time to do it. And plant those seeds in our womb, because Yemonja, which is the season of winter, Yemonja is the mother. The womb is gestating our dreams, our hopes, our desires for our lives. That's why we need to slow down during the solstice, during the winter. We don't need to just all the time be on the go, be on the go, be on the go. We need to slow down and let those babies start to, right now we're wanting to get them in the womb so they germinate and start growing and growing and growing, and all the different cells are differentiating so that we are able to follow the guidance, because right now it's all about the wisdom. It's all about following the wisdom, the omniscience of the universe. And this is one reason why it's so important to know about your Ori, because your Ori is like, oh, wait a minute, your destiny is over here. I'm trying to get you over here. And so the Ori is leading and guiding us after we get out of this period of slowing down and gestating our dreams and our hopes for what is to come. And it will lead, guide, and direct us. The thing that is important for everyone to remember is that you may be guided to do some things that frighten you, that scare you, that perhaps you don't really want to do. We still have to open ourselves up to it. See, we have Tahuti and Amen speaking right now. And Tahuti is all about expansion. It's all about the wisdom and understanding that whatever we are called to do, the wisdom will guide us as to how to make that manifest. And so that's why it's important to get quiet, which is Amen. Amen is saying y'all need to turn off the technology, whatever your version of technology addiction is. For me, that would be this little iPhone right here. Turn off the technology. Come from the external world into the internal world. So that you can see what's floating up there that you need to let go of. But that, what is it that you perhaps, you sort of like feel it's there, but you don't really want to. It's like it feels maybe sometimes too big or too scary, and so you don't really want to think about it. You don't want to face it. But that's what's calling you. It's called your destiny. Your destiny is calling you. And sometimes the destiny looks a little afraid. But this time, work on nurturing your relationship with the omniscience of the universe. Work on nurturing your relationship with the power of the divine. Work on nurturing your relationship with the omnipresence, which is the great divine consciousness, and within you, your Ori, your higher self, your Ganesha, your divine nature. Okay? And so take this time to figure out even the things that you know you need to do but you're afraid of doing. Okay, come on, you've got to do this. I have been watching some astrological videos, and I just really want to mention this to you. Right now is the time. The beginning of December is the time to, you're going to feel sort of like there's a lot of work, some busyness, but it's called change. We're in a season of great change, and the oracle is also indicating that it's important for you to understand that we're looking at what's going on with us, but we have to look at what's going on in the community, our local community, the world community. Because right now it's time for everyone to figure out, how will I be an agent of change? And there are things that we need to be putting in place. Like, put that plan in place right now. Think about whatever it is that you're saying that you want to do. Put that plan in place right now. And because things may start popping off, and I'm going to put the links in the boxes below. Levine is the one that talked the most extensively about what is to come, or the importance of working on things right now, because things may start popping off, and you can't, when things start popping off, that's not the time to come up with a plan. That's not the time to put stuff in place. So don't delay right now. with going on ahead and laying the foundation for the work that you are supposed to do. And that December 28th is the most auspicious time to have your New Year's resolutions set in place. Not after that. December 28th is the most auspicious time to have those plans set in space. Now y'all gonna have to watch the astrological videos, because I don't. Ooh, my phone keeps ticking. So hold on, let me gather myself. I just watched the astrological videos looking for wisdom myself and feel led to share with you. So if you want more details about December 28th, you're going to have to watch the Levine video. But you can trust. That's what he said. And it's a good astrological reason why. Okay. And he does talk a lot in that video. But it is, to me, he is like the Baba of astrologers that I have connected with thus far. Okay, but we're all being called to be change agents right now, and so you have to figure out your version of being a change agent. You need to be a change agent in your life, and you need to be a change agent within the world. You need to figure out how you're going to do that. The other thing is that this Oshun energy that keeps speaking. Oshun oftentimes speaks through the Odu Oshe. And again, I'm working with the Ifa Oracle, Meridine Logun. So if you don't understand that, don't worry about it. But this is Oshe. And what I'm loving about Oshun is I just keep watching what's going on in the world. Because we're in a new world. We have a whole new thing that we're facing, whether we want to talk about politics or not. The bottom line is we have to get ourselves lined up with what are we going to do, because guess what? We are here. The earth is under attack. If you aren't an activist in any other way, you need to be on the front lines fighting for the earth at the very least. That's something I think people who watch my videos can all agree on, that we need to be radical spiritual warriors when it comes to this earth. But at the end of the day, we are all going to be called to use our spiritual gifts and talents to effect a positive, beneficial change in this world. And so what I'm finding with Oshun is, the first time I saw this energy where I was like, was when one of the many African American men was murdered in this USA. And it, you know, folks just get away with it. Okay, I'm not going to go political, but it was when one of these young men was murdered, the one in Maryland. And I asked the Oracle, because everyone's going crazy. We're arguing, black folks arguing with black folks on Facebook, because of course this media that we have going on here in the United States, so many different places in the world, sets us up to try to control our minds and bicker and fight. You know, it has its own agenda to try to keep us programmed and everything. And that's when I said, oh, I gotta do something. Black folks arguing with black folks? Oh no, it was some news story that had been released, and so we're all going on and on about that news story. And guess what? Those cops still got away with it, because at the time it was right after he had been murdered. Okay, so I asked, what do we need to do? And I'll put the link below if anyone wants to check this out, because this was fascinating to me. I'm thinking I'm going to get some type of like Herakahuti, Ogun reading, like it's time to take up arms and just go straight, you know, Martian. We're going to be like the energy of Mars, fiery, we're cutting folks. I see Hetharu Oshun, like Hetep, E-Ray, total blessings. I'm thinking, what? But what Oshun is calling us to know, because, you know, when we think about Oshun, we're thinking about harmony. We're thinking about living in harmony. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't feel very harmonious in the United States with black men being murdered, cops walking away from murdering these men, And we're all ticked off about it. This is not feeling harmonious. And what I'm realizing is it's about the energy of creativity. It is about the energy of coming up with creative solutions. And so that's what we're being called to do right now, is to come up with creative solutions. And so I just encourage you to understand that as you move forward and thinking about what is 2017 meaning for you, it is meaning that it is time for you to get radical in the way that you approach life, because whatever you're doing is so outside the box of who and what you are, of what you're used to, that, you know, it's just incredible. I think about people who walk in this ocean energy of creation. They're the weirdos. They are so out of the box, but they typically are going to be the ones that are at the forefront of the movement. Okay? And so it's time to get outside of your box. It's time to break free of your usual patterns. This time of solstice, Oya is saying you've got to change your neural networks and stop just being in this automaton type way of being. And you've got to change up what you're doing if you want to have change in your life. And then one of the ways to change up what you're doing is to get so radically different in your approach, in the way that you do things. But Tahuti is saying you cannot allow your limited egoic way of thinking to be your guide of wisdom, because what you have thought is going to work in your situation or whatever it is you're supposed to do. It's not, because you're operating from your limited egoic self. And so this is one of the reasons we're developing a relationship with the omnipresence, the omniscience, and the omnipotence of the great divine consciousness, because ultimately that has to be what leads, guides, and directs us. The old way is gone. The new way must come in. And so once we start aligning ourselves with the great divine, and the great divine only, releasing all ego constructs by choice, because this doesn't magically happen. Although Oya can come in and wreak havoc in your life, because she loves us so much that she is like, you know what, I'm going to come in there like a tornado, because I can't let him or her go out like that. I can't do it. So if they're not listening to the quiet whisperings of their spirit, of their Ori, their higher divine self, and those whisperings happen over and over and over, then Oya will love you so much that she'll come through like a tornado and wipe it all out, because she's not going to let you go out without doing everything she can to help you get in alignment with your destiny. Okay? And so we need to understand we've got to let go of the egoic constructs that we put in our lives. We've got to let go of all of what we thought to be true. It's a new day. And we've got to align ourselves with the great divine consciousness. What I tell myself is I cast myself into the energy, the hands of the universe. Do with me whatever it is you would have me to do. I trust you implicitly. I have no question. Wherever you lead me, guide me, direct me, I will go. And that's just how we have to be. And when we get in that place, we start being given guidance and direction about this radical new way of being, this radical new way of thinking. And that's where Oshun comes in. Because Oshun is like, baby, I got this. Do you want the best creative, just fly solution ever? Okay, if that's what you want, then you need to come on over here with me, and it's called the faculty of imagination. You know, how many times do we imagine that which we just, it's like we already know this is within the realm of our possibility, and we just sort of stay within that box. Oshun is saying, get out the box. Oya is showing you the way to get out the box. Okay? And Yamaya is saying, because you're taking care of yourself, I'm going to nurture you so that you can sustain all this change and all this manifesting that you're being called to do. That's why we have to take very good care of ourselves. We have to, and I talked about this in the video, all the things that we should do during the solstice to support this process of going deeper. So, Oshun, Oya, they are showing us the new way that we need to step into and to live. And so we're talking about the law of attraction and reattuning our vibration in the highest way possible, to whatever it is that we are being called to manifest. So just know, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're envisioning right now, it is going to come to pass, because this energy is getting heightened. The closer we get to the solstice, this energy is getting heightened. The kicker is, first of all, we have a full moon on, I think it's the 13th or the 14th of this month. And so during that time, because it's during the solstice time, it's even more important for us to take time to think about how much we did actually manifest in this lunar cycle, but as well as all year long. Like, have you taken time, pause to really think about what you have manifested, so that you can realize. My husband is a Christian pastor, and one day he says, the gratitude, when we express gratitude for all that we have in our lives, the gratitude informs our faith, and it gives us the motivation, the inspiration to continue to know that we truly are powerful beyond measure, that everything comes from within our own consciousness. So during that time, give thanks for all that you manifested. And then on the 19th, we go into Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde is a time for us to continue to reflect. But you want to reflect even more. Mercury retrograde is going to last for 3 weeks. You want to really review. It's about reviewing and recharging. It's all about what do you need to replay, go back and revisit in your life, okay? And so by the time we get to the 28th, we should be super clear, because all during this time we're eating better, we're sleeping more. We need to sleep a lot during this time. Sleep is healing for the body, but it connects us to our higher selves too. So pay attention to your dreams and all that. And so all this time we're working on letting go of remnants, but also opening up to what is to come. What is it that our spirit is leading us to? Because we want to be in alignment with the highest will for our lives. And so that by the December 28th, we are writing down what it is we seek to manifest. One of the things I hope you write down on your list is a complete and total spiritual daily practice plan. That should be on your list. You need to manifest how you're going to stay in touch with your spirituality. But I'm telling you, we need it. Whether we really want to pay attention to what's going on, not just in the United States, but around the world. It's something we need to really, this is why all this time we've been doing all this work. We're in the habit of doing it. Because we need to be even more in attunement with the highest divine truth. And that's what our men is saying during this time. That you have to expand your consciousness so far out that you don't even feel that you are separate from the great one divine consciousness. So understanding that and connecting to it is so important as we go into 2017. There is no time like right now to be working your spiritual practices hard. I don't know what lies ahead, but with Oya speaking, in such a big way, change is on the horizon, personally and in the greater community. And so the one thing that I know that I have that nobody can take away is my connection to the great divine consciousness. And that is what we must do. That is our ultimate goal, is to be so connected, tuned in, plugged in to the great divine consciousness, so expanded in our awareness that, it's like I'm untouchable. Be committed to peace. You need to open yourself up to be committed to peace. That is amen. Because peace is our essential nature. And when you feel peace, that's because you're so tuned in and plugged into the great divine consciousness. You're like, I don't have to worry about anything. Everything I need, it will come. It's no need to worry. We need to avoid fear and worry at all costs, because we're going to manifest them even more if that's what we're thinking about and feeling. And so we need to be more open to complete and utter trust, faith, knowingness in the great divine consciousness, and that confers peace. It's the ultimate reality that we're seeking to connect with. And so let me just see here, because I know people are going to say, how? Well, I'm going to say meditation. It's very important for us to meditate and to have your spiritual practices, okay? And you must be a spiritual scientist and experiment with this relationship that you're opening up even more. You must experiment. You must test it. Okay? I think that I'm hearing from the great divine. I'm seeking to feel you, great divine. What is it that I need to do? And I'm listening, because we're being quiet during this time. I'm listening to see, what do I hear? For me, that's what I do. I just, I read spiritual works and I ponder on them, because I feel like those words are seeds. And when I ponder, it's me burying the seeds in me, and then I wait to see where am I guided with these words? How do they lead, guide, and direct my life? If I read some spiritual guidance, so for instance, watch what you're thinking and feeling, because it's going to manifest certain things. I look to see what's being manifested and line it up with, okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I'm like, well, I'm thinking one thing and feeling one thing, but why am I manifesting something different? I don't say, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work. I dig more deeply within to see, is there really a hidden program within me that's running that I'm not aware of? Again, dismantle your ego. Dismantle the construct of your life. What if everything that you think and know about yourself is a lie? Okay? Because we are mostly walking and living lies. Dismantle and deconstruct it, and you'll find those underlying programs. During this Mercury retrograde time, that is a time to get in tune and in touch with those underlying programs that are there, that we don't even know. We're just on automaton with them. That's why you have to change what you're doing, because it puts you in touch with your limiting thoughts and beliefs. Let's see here. What else can we do? Surrender is a key word, and surrender is a choice. You just have to do it. You don't want to be made to do it. But surrender is mostly a choice. And so you just let go. I don't know how to say it other than I just become resolute. I trust the universe, and I'm letting go, and I'm just going with whatever is shown to me. It's scary. The unknown is very, very scary for me. But one time Deepak Chopra said, it is the unknown where there's the life and the vivaciousness that we're seeking, the happiness, the joy. And the known is equal to death, basically. It's equal to being stuck. And so change is the way. There's the one thing that is constant is the great divine consciousness. But even within that, because we're here, it's change. It's always change going on. The body that you have right now, you will not have it this time next year. All the cells that you have right now will be gone at some point. New ones come in. We don't even have the same macrophysiology from year to year. Nothing stays the same. And so I just make the decision. And it does take me doing my daily spiritual practices. I just make the decision and I just jump into it. And I just do it. I just let go and just say, I'm just going to see what happens. And as I watch what happens and all these good things happen and I'm grateful, my gratitude informs my faith to jump again when I'm being called to do things that I'm like, I'm not sure about this. So that's what I'll leave you with right now. I did not mean to go this long, but it's what I do. I have decided that some videos will be long and some videos will be short, and that's just how it is. Okay, so I just want to plug my friends. The Earth Truck. Detox, supplements, soaps. Google the Earth Truck. My friend Jonte and his mom make these products. And then I want to plug Essence Tree, and I'll put the links below for these companies. Essence Tree is by my friend Charmaine. I know both of these people personally. And I love the way these products make me feel because they're natural. These are just 2 examples of their products. I love using this oil because of the scent of it. I can't wear, manufactured scents at all. And so this just helps to keep my spirit in a line. It's called Satwa Divine Oil, but anything Charmaine makes is good. I'm also using her a calendula hemp and for cream for eczema and dry skin. And then the Earth Truck are the soaps are what I primarily use. My skin was so jacked up because I can't use regular soap anymore, ever. No kind, no brand whatsoever. And so I started using his soaps and have just gotten off into using the body butters and the sprays because I can't wear regular spray. Anyway, I just like making sure I plug small-owned business owners. If you are a small-owned business owner, let me know. I'm a small-owned business owner because of my website and the work that I do as a priestess as well as a fitness instructor. But if you are a small-owned business owner, let me know and I will plug your business because we all got to stick together. I hope that this video has assisted you in some way. If you have questions, feel free to comment. Let me know how your winter solstice has gone. And I'm looking forward to good times. Though sometimes I have to catch myself from feeling doom and gloom. I'm unplugging from the news because, and I don't watch mainstream media. I watch Democracy Now! Is a really good nonpartisan, you're just going to get the news program on YouTube, Democracy Now! But as much as sometimes I feel the doom and gloom, I think that we are in one of the most glorious times ever. It's time for us to truly stand in our power and to operate from it. And during this solstice period, this is the time to really get it all together. But, it's December 9th, y'all, or 8th, something like that. Seriously, we have got to be laying some serious foundations. Watch the video by Levine and you'll get more details. Thank you all so much. Blessings of the goddess be upon you and yours. Just remember that you are great, not for any reason, just you are. Peace and love.